Sairam class, how are you all? Today we will start our new chapter number 7, which is congruence of triangles. Now let's see what is congruence means. With the help of plane figure and line segments, then we will go to angle and then triangle. So first, congruence of plane figures. You can see here two plane figures F1 and F2. So we can say that both of them are congruent to each other when we superpose, means we place one figure over the another figure. Okay? Over the another figure, and if both of them superpose, means they hide each other in below each other. That means if we place F1 over F2 and F1 completely hide F2 under F1, then we can say that both of them are congruence plane figures. And you can see here, this is the sign for congruence. That means how we can read it, that F1 is congruent to F2. Okay. Similarly, if we talk about congruence among line segments, then if two line segments, it is line segments, have the same, that means length, same means equal or same length, then they are congruent, means then we can say that both of the or all of the line segment are congruent if their length is equal. You can see here AB is congruent to CD and RS also. Okay, but if they have equal length, but PR is not congruent to RS as PR has much large length than RS. PQ has much large length than RS. So how we can write it, that AB with a bar over it, which means it is a line segment, is congruent to CD. Now let's see what is congruence of triangles mean. You can see here we have various examples. If two angles have same measure, you can see here this angle is also of 40 degree, this is also of 40 degree, and the fourth one is also of 40 degree, whereas the third one is of 30 degree. So among all of the four, first, second and fourth figure have same measure, then they are congruent. Okay, so we can say that first, second and fourth angle are congruent to each other. You can see again that how we can write them. Angle ABC congruent with PQR. You have to keep in mind that the corresponding things should write in corresponding place. You can see here we have A in the below arm. So when we write A first, then we have to write all the below points first. Then we have to write the vertex where angle is formed. You can see here in first figure angle is formed in B vertex. So we will write B. Second, then Q. So Q should be in middle, and here in this case Y. So Y should be in middle. Then if we go to the third point, C is on the upper arm, here R and here Z. So they should be in same corresponding position, that is third position. So you have to keep in mind that how we have to represent this. Okay. Now further is also, if two angles are congruent, then we can say that their measure are same. Now if we talk about triangles, in case of triangles, congruence of triangles says two triangles are congruent if they are exactly copy of each other. That means when we superpose one triangle to the another, they completely cover each other, as we learned in case of plane figure. Now you can see here we have two triangles ABC and PQR. If we say that ABC is congruent to PQR, so how we have to say that which corresponding part is congruent to which part of the another triangle? So you can see here ABC means A is the first point, B is the second, C is the third point. Similarly, in second triangle, P is the first, Q is the second, and R is the third point. Means A is correspond to P of another triangle, B is correspond to Q, and C is correspond to R. So if we talk about corresponding vertices, so A is correspond to P, B with Q, and C with R. Now if we talk about corresponding sides, so A is correspond to PQ, okay, and B is correspond to QR. Similarly, AC is correspond to PR. Now the third thing is corresponding angles. So we can see here angle A is correspond to angle P, or how we can write it, angle CAB correspond to angle RPQ, okay, and second is angle P correspond to angle Q. How we can write them, angle ABC correspond to angle PQR. Now the third pair of angle is C and R. How we can write their name, angle BCA correspond to QRP, okay. So how we have to represent them is the very important thing. So you can see here how many parts a triangle have. A triangle have 6 parts, 3 sides and 3 angles. And on the same angle we have vertices. So in short we can say that a triangle have 6 parts. Okay class, so on the basis of these few things we have our exercise 7.1. So let's discuss the question on 7.1 so that we can have more clear views on these points. So the first one is fill in the blanks. According to the first fill in the blanks, two line segments are congruent if their length is same. Okay. Another is among two congruent angles, one has a measure 70. The measure of another should be 70 also. Okay. That is why they are known as congruent to each other. And the next fill up is when we write angle A equals to angle B, that means the measure of angle A is equals to measure of angle B. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question, which is give any two real life example of congruent shapes. So you can see there are many examples of congruent shape. For example, fan feathers of same brand, size of chocolate in the same brand. Okay. Similarly, the sole of the slippers, sole of the shoes. Okay. And we have so many examples like these. Now this third one is if triangle ABC is congruent to F, E and D under the correspondence ABC with FED, means A correspond to F, B correspond to E and C correspond to D. So under this correspondence, we have to answer that. Write all the corresponding congruent parts of the triangle. So it is very easy. So let's see how we have to solve. As we know that all the corresponding congruent parts of triangle ABC and FED are, if we talk about angle to angle, then angle A is correspond to F, B with E and C with D. And if we talk about side, then AB correspond to FE. You can see here AB correspond to FE and BC correspond to ED, BC correspond to ED, and the next one is CA correspond to DF. CA correspond to DF. Okay. So you have to keep in mind then how we have to write their name. It is very important. Now, exactly like third question, we have question number 4, in which we have given two triangles, triangle DEF, which is congruent to triangle BCA, and you have to write that which part of BCA correspond to given parts of DEF. So let's see how we have to solve it. For example, we have two triangles DEF, which is congruent to BCA. So we have to answer which part of this triangle is correspond to angle E of first triangle. So we can see angle C is correspond to angle E. Next is which part of BCA is correspond to side EF of first triangle. So this is EF. So CA is correspond to EF. Now the next is we have to find the correspond of angle F. So you can see it, this is angle F. So angle A is correspond to angle F. And the third is DF. So this is our side DF, and you can see here BA is the correspond side of DF. And the another way to find out the answer for this question is, you can see here we have given that DEF is congruent to BCA. Okay, triangle DEF is congruent to BCA. And we have to find the congruent of angle E. So congruent of angle E, you can see here angle E is congruent with angle C. So the answer is angle C. The next is congruent of side EF. So you can see here EF. So the corresponding side is CA. And the next one is of angle F. So you can see here angle A is correspond to angle F. And the next is DF. So you can see here DF. Okay. So BA is the corresponding side of DF. Okay, class. Now this is the very small part of this chapter in which we had learned that what is congruence means and how we can represent and see congruence or correspond sides or angles of two different triangles. Now the very important thing or part of this chapter is criteria for congruence of triangle. You have to understand that we have certain criteria, and on the basis of only those criteria we can give two triangles as congruent to each other. So we have to learn about those criteria first, then we will go to our next exercise. So in our today's class we will learn about these criteria, and then we will discuss the questions based on these criteria in our next video. So you can see here we have four types of criteria. One is SSS, in which SSS means side, side, side. Okay. The next one is SAS, in which first S means side, A means angle, and the third S also means side. It means it is side angle side criteria. Now the third one is ASA. A means angle, S means side, again A means angle. That means it is angle side angle criteria. And the last one is RHS, which is R means right angle, H means hypotenuse, and S means side. Right angle, hypotenuse, side. That means this criteria only used in case of right angled triangle. Now let's know one by one about these criterias. So the first one is SSS, congruence criterion. If under any given correspondence, all the three sides of one triangle is equal to the three sides of another triangle, then we can say that these triangles are congruent under SSS criteria. Okay, you can see here they've given two triangles have all the six, means the three side of one triangle is exactly same as the three side of the another triangle. So we can say that these both triangles are congruent to each other on the basis of SSS congruence criteria. Okay. Similarly, for SAS congruency, see, you have to keep in mind that this A means angle should be in between the sides. Okay, let's see what that means. If under a correspondence, two side and one angle included between them, means that angle should be included in between these two sides. You can see here in this figure that 7, here this 7, here angle 5 with angle, side 5 with side another of another triangle which is 5, and this 50-degree angle is in between these two sides. Okay, so this is the condition for this criteria, that angle should be in between the two sides. So the statement is, if under a correspondence, two sides and the angle included between them of one triangle are equal to the corresponding two side and angle included in between them of another triangle, then we can say that triangles are congruent to each other under SAS criteria. And you have to keep in mind that how you have to name them. You can see here that A, B, C is correspond to, yes, you have to keep in mind the side. So we have to write F, E, D. It is not D, E, F. It should be F, E, D. How you can see that? See, for ABC, this AB side, which is of 7 centimeter, should correspond to the another triangle's side, which is of 7 centimeter. So we have to write it as F, E. And then we have E and F with 50 angle, and then this D point. So how you have to write is, angle ABC is correspond to F, E, D. Okay. Now let's move on to other congruence criterion, which is ASA congruence criteria, where angle side angle, and you have to keep in mind that this side should be in between given two angles. You can see here in the figure that we have 40 degree, 40 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree, and the same length side is in between these two given angles. So let's read this statement for this congruence criteria. If under a correspondence, two angles and the side including in between them of one triangle equal to the corresponding angle and the side including between them of another triangle, then we can say that these two triangles are congruent according to the ASA congruence criteria. Okay, and you have to keep in mind how we have to name them. So if we have name ABC, means A which is of 40 degree, so here we have to write the F which is of 40 degree, then B which is of 60 degree. So we have to go to E, and then C. So we have to write then D. Okay. So you can see here A, B, C is congruent to F, E and D. Okay. Just you have to keep in mind that ASA means S should be in between these two given angles. Okay. And the last one is RHS, where right angle, both have right angle. Hypotenuse means hypotenuse should be of the same length, which is 6 centimeter, and any one side should be of the same length. So here you can see 3 centimeter and here 2.5 centimeter. So to become corresponding, they have to be, this should also be of 3 centimeter. Okay. Now let's see what the statement of RHS congruence criteria is. If under a correspondence, the hypotenuse and one side of a right angle triangle are respectively equal to the hypotenuse and one side of a right angled triangle, then the triangles are congruent under RHS congruence criteria. Okay, that means the hypotenuse should same, they should have right angle, and any one side should be of equal length. Then we can say that triangles are congruent under RHS criteria. I hope you all get all the criterias very clearly. If not, you have to go through the video again and again. They are such a simple criterias. SSS means all the three sides should be of equal length. SAS means two sides should be of equal length and one angle should be of equal measure, and that angle should be in between the given sides. Similarly, ASA, two angles should be of same measure and one side should be of same length, and the condition is side should be in between given angles. RHS means R for right angle, both triangles should have right angle. H means their hypotenuse should be of same length and any one side should be of same length. Okay, you have to understand these criterias very well, and in our next video we will do exercises based on these criterias. Okay class, till then, thank you class.